Hey all, 007 Mewtwo here again, bringing you another narrated Wi-Fi battle. This one is against Ash's Pokemon. He is the guy I battled in my first battle I posted. So this is a rematch. It was a much better battle than the first one in my opinion, and I think he agrees. So alright, stick around. He leads off with a Ninjask again, and I lead off with Fortress. And right away I get out of there because I don't want him baton passing into anything and sweeping. So I just go ahead and switch into Gengar here. He goes for the Protect, as I knew he probably would. If this is the Ninjask used in the first match, it won't have any attacking moves. But even if it did, they normally carry X-Scissor. So I go ahead and sub up, just so he can't really do anything to me. And that way I've got a bit of a safety buffer when he passes into something. But he instead goes for the Substitute. I was expecting like a Sword Stance or something here. So I just go for the Shadow Ball. I do break his sub. And this Gengar is a Life-Orbed Pain Split Gengar. I don't know, I don't see him as much nowadays, but it's actually a really effective build. Good answer for bulky walls, and good attack too, because of like 394 attack, stab, Life Orb, good stuff. Alright, so he goes ahead for another Protect there. And then he goes for a Substitute here. And right now I'm thinking I probably should have gotten my rocks up with Fortress, because it looks like he's going to be staying in and passing for a long time. So right now, after I stop whatever he's passing into, my first priority is to get my rocks up. Because if this Ninjask comes back in, he's going to die. So he's getting a speed boost. He goes for another Substitute here. So now I think he's sitting at +5 or +6. I've lost count. I just go for a Shadow Ball. I'm predicting here he's going to Baton Pass because he wants to leave some health for his Ninjask. So I'm just going to go for the Shadow Ball. There wasn't really any difference between when he was going to pass, and I've been Shadow Balling the whole time, so it doesn't matter. Alright, so he does pass out here. In the battle, he actually takes quite a while to think about this. He just go ahead and goes into Charizard. So I go for the Shadow Ball here. And that's going to do a lot to Charizard. Right now, if I had had my rocks up, this actually would have done over half, so it would have KO'd Charizard. And I probably would have just swept with my Gengar. And that, my friends, is why you always put rocks up as early as you can. So it leaves him at about 1/4 HP. He goes ahead and Thunder Punches to break my sub. But I actually outspeed here, so he has no speed in this Charizard. And I go ahead for the Shadow Ball for the kill. No, I don't outspeed. After he breaks my sub, I don't know what I was thinking. He was like +6. Dah. Sorry, it's early, okay? He goes ahead for the Thunder Punch. Right here I was thinking I might be able to outspeed, because I was thinking for some reason this was plus speed nature, but it isn't, so... And I get paralyzed. I went ahead for the Substitute there because I didn't know what he was going to do. I almost hit Pain Split, and that would have paid off big time. But it didn't, so... I see right now he's Life Orbed, so I'm not really all that scared of it. He switches out here, fearing the Earthquake, and goes into Ninjask. And right now, I go into my Fortress, predicting him to switch so I can set up my rocks. And unfortunately, I'm a little bit too late. So right now, despite him Sword Stancing and Speed Boosting, I'm just going to go ahead and set up my rocks, in case that can do serious damage to anything else on his team, and also kill this Ninjask when he comes back in. He goes for the Protect here. I knew he was kind of gonna, but I went for the Gyro Ball anyway, because I'm sure it will KO from this range. It'll do a lot. It'll be at its max power because Ninjask is really fast and Fortress is really slow. So I go into Flygon here because I figure he's going to pass into Infernape. Now he's left just a sliver of HP here. And I go for the Earthquake, predicting him to pass into Infernape. He goes for the Sword Stance here. So I go for the Earthquake, and it doesn't happen. And right here I'm thinking, he's probably going to be greedy and just go for another sword stance instead of baton passing. At least I hope he is. So I figured I would set up my sandstorm and do that last little chunk of HP damage to him. And I got lucky. He does go for another sword stance. He would have swept if he hadn't. So sometimes it's fine to just leave it at +4 and +5. You don't need to go all the way up to +6. Sometimes it really costs you. So anyway, that was really good for me because that saved me from a sweep. He goes into Rampardos. I'm thinking right away it's Scarfed if he goes into it. Either he's going to Rock Polish here, or he's Scarfed. So this is big. Does he Rock Polish, or does he just attack? And he just attacks. Because I've never seen a Rampardos build without any way of overcoming the speed problem. Whether it be Scarf, or Rock Polish, or whatever. If he had been Rock Polish, that would not have been good for me. But I just go ahead in a Fortress here to take the Earthquake. I'm getting my HP back, and the fact that he withdraws here shows me for sure that he's Scarfed. If he goes into Glasscore, I go ahead for the Toxic to hit either the Rampardos or whatever he decides to switch into, and I hit the Glasscore, which is great. Because Glasscore is a great wall, and it's always good to have a Toxic Poison on that. It means it can't do its job. Unfortunately, I think it will be stealing the Sand Veil, unless it's a Hypercut or Glasscore. I'm going to have to be careful around that. So he's getting his Toxic Poison. I'm getting my leftovers. I'm not sure what kind of Glasscore this is going to be. I predict him to set up rocks here. But he actually goes for the Sword Stance, so I'm thinking this is another Baton Pass set. So I go for the Rapid Spin because I predicted him to set up rocks. And also because I kind of want to see what he's going to do. So here I'm thinking, oh gosh. So this is not good. I've got to get out of there and get into something that can handle either the Glasscore and kill it before it can pass, or handle whatever it passes into. So here he just has one sword stance up, so he's at +2. And I go into Flygon here, and he just baton passes straight out. I think he learned his lesson from the Ninjask. And he goes into Infernape. So this thing is not gonna be good for me. So his Infernape's at +2. Fortunately it's getting hurt by Life Orb and Sandstorm, so it'll be fairly easy to wear down. And he goes for the Flare Blitz here. And I was thinking I'd be able to take this because it is resisted even though it is +2. Be able to take this with just like a sliver of health. But actually I don't. He gets a crit on me. And so that's gonna kill my Flygon. But I guess in hindsight it was probably good, because I needed to sacrifice something so he could get hit by the Flare Blitz recoil. So he gets hit by the Flare Blitz recoil. And then he gets hit by the Life Orb recoil. And then he gets hit by the Sandstorm. He lost almost half his HP in just one turn. So here I just go into Mr. Wall to bait him into the Fire type move. Looking back, this is kind of risky if he had like a Fighting type move. But I'm guessing he didn't have Mach Punch. So I go ahead and get my Flash Fire here. That's why Fortress and Heatran pair really well together. You can bait, and I go ahead and miss the Fire Blast. If he had a Fighting type move here, I would have basically been screwed. But apparently he doesn't. He only has Thunder Punch and Flare Blitz on it. I'm not sure what its other two moves are. But he does go for the Thunder Punch. And at +2, that is going to hurt. So it leaves me just with a little bit under half here. So I'm not getting hurt by Sandstorm. This is my Scarf Tran, so he goes into Glasscore here. And here I'm just hoping and praying that my Fire Blast hits. And it does. And with the Flash Fire and Stab and Heatran's natural great special attack, that's going to be plenty to KO. So right now I'm looking pretty good. I've got something out here that's locked into a strong move. It's going to be faster than just about everything. So he goes into Breloom here. He just goes for this. He goes for the Mach Punch. I'm not sure why he didn't just go into the Mach Punch first, because that would have been enough to KO me. But anyways, so my Heatran's down. I don't see any sort of damage or anything on this Breloom, no Life Orb. And I don't see any Toxic Orb either. So I'm thinking this is probably the same Breloom I saw last match. So I'm not going to make the mistake of toxicking it this time. So I set up the Reflect just to make sure he can't really do anything for me. And he goes for the Sky Uppercut, which I was not, like I said before, it's a cool move. It's a powerful move with Breloom because of the stab and great attack. And that does next to nothing. So he's getting hurt by Sandstorm. And I'm not, so that's good for me. And I go ahead for the Wish here, predicting him to like Sky Uppercut again, or Seed Bomb, or I'm not sure. But he just goes for the Spore, and puts my Rachi to sleep. Which I guess could have been worse, because he really can't do anything to me. And I will get the Wish next turn, so... So he's getting hit by Sandstorm. But he makes a good play and switches out into Rampardos here. And this thing has me in a bit of a pickle. So the 3 guys I have left, 2 of them are weak to Earthquake, and 2 of them are weak to Fire Punch. So I'm guessing this guy is like Stone Edge, Fire Punch, Ice Punch, and Earthquake, because that's what I see on most Rampardos. Since I saw Thunder Punch on Infernape, then they probably won't be repeating that. So thankfully I wake up here and U-turn out. I predict him to go for the Earthquake. So U-turn exit is a sizable chunk, even though I have no attack EVs, but Rampardos is just really frail. So I go into Mr. Wall here, predicting an Earthquake, but he makes a nice play and goes for the Fire Punch. So that's going to do quite a bit, not a whole lot, but I will not be able to live another one. So I'm sitting at like 140 something HP after leftovers. Unfortunately, he's now getting hurt by Sandstorm. So I go into TY here because I have a feeling that he's locked into Fire Punch, and he is. And with the Reflect up and with the Resist, that is literally going to do nothing. Let me adjust the camera view here so you can actually kind of see what's going on. Alright, and he goes into Breloom. I knew he would, so instead of going for the Dragon Dance, I just go straight for the Crunch, because I figure 2 crunches is going to be enough to kill it better than 1 Dragon Dance to crunch would do. So he's getting hit by Sandstorm. I'm at the point where Crunch will figure him off, and here he misses the Sky Uppercut, which I don't know if that would have killed me, because I do have the Reflect up, but then again it is 4x, and it is stab from a Breloom. So I don't know, that definitely mattered. I actually thought I would outspeed him here, because I do have serious speed investment in this thing. So he goes into Rampardos. I know he's just going to go for the Earthquake here. So I decide to go into my Dairachi, because I can take an Earthquake with the Reflect up, even though I'm weak to it. And he does indeed go for the Earthquake. Right here I'm thinking I can Wish, and then pass into... Wish and then U-turn into Mr. Wall, which is my fortress, because I am sitting at kind of low HP, and a Wish would really help me out here. So that does under half, but my Reflect chooses now to wear off. So now I have to go set it all back up again. He goes for the Earthquake here, and that's not going to kill me because I do have the Reflect up. It's going to leave with like 90 HP, I think. I do not have leftovers on this Sriracha. I actually have Light Clay, because I think the 8-turn screens are better than the recovery. The Sandstorm's happening. And then I go ahead and U-turn out just to get some damage on this guy. Because he's really at the point where just about anything will kill him after this U-turn. So I was thinking, worst comes to worst, I can come back in with Jirachi if he does something bad here, and just finish him off with a U-turn. But he goes for an Earthquake here. And I'm thinking, alright, I can live this. Because I did have my Wish and everything. And... Sandstorm's happening. Did I have my Wish? Actually, I don't think I had my Wish. Because I was forced just to U-turn straight out. So I know I can take another one here. So I go for the Gyro Ball for the win. He goes for the Earthquake. And I don't see the HP bar stop, so I'm like, He gets a crit. He crits through the Reflect and kills my Fortress. Which is good for him, I guess, but... Alright, so I could just go into Jirachi, but I'm not sure the U-turn will kill. So I decided to go into Tyranitar. It's a safer play, because I know I can live an Earthquake with the screen up. You know, dual screens and then Tyranitar, it's a really good combination. So he goes ahead the earthquake. It does a little bit over half, but that's okay because I'm just going to finish him off with an earthquake. So great game, Ash. This was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the battle. Comment, rate, like, subscribe. I don't know. Hit the buttons. Alright. See you guys.